Successful people develop the habit of doing what unsuccessful people don't like to do. Warren Buffett told Bloomberg that everyone lives according to their habits, which can impact both their health and personal life. However, there are also habits that directly affect finances. Many people don't realize the negative financial habits that repeatedly deprive them of any chance of becoming rich. Warren Buffett believes that it is not possible to simply get rid of bad financial habits, but it is possible to replace them with good ones. This is the only way to increase the amount of money in your life. If you want to know more, keep watching this video. This is the leading channel on finance, so click the subscribe now button and join the ranks of future millionaires. Warren Buffett is no ordinary billionaire. He's worth around $16 billion, but lives modestly. He still lives in the house he bought for $31,000 in 1957, prefers regular transportation to a private executive jet, and plays bridge instead of throwing extravagant parties. This combination of immense wealth and a simple life has always attracted the world's attention. From a young age, Warren Buffett began his journey to becoming considerably wealthy. At a young age, he sold newspapers, Coca-Cola, magazines, and chewing gum, going door to door to his neighbors. He enjoyed being his own boss, delivering newspapers at 5 or 6 in the morning and earning a penny for each of the 500 newspapers he delivered every day. Buffett always liked to read. His aunt gave him the World Almanac, which he still owns, and he read his first book on investments in his father's office. To this day, Warren Buffett devotes 5 to 6 hours a day to reading. Although his business development took place in the second half of the 20th century, he continues to be active in the new millennium, tirelessly monitoring market trends and sharing valuable advice to help people follow the path to enrichment. When it comes to making money, the most important thing is timing. You don't have to be very smart, you just have to be patient, says Warren Buffett. Many people know Buffett as a guru of the investment world, but in fact, he made most of his fortune by following the right financial lifestyle. Warren is rightly called a billionaire who clearly understands the value of every dollar. In this video, I want to draw your attention to the financial habits that Buffett actively uses. As he said in his interview, a healthy financial habit can easily become the foundation of your wealth, even if your wallet is empty right now. First habit, smart spending. At first glance, this habit may seem trivial, but according to statistics, more than 65% of people don't know how to spend money properly. Warren Buffett has said it more than once. People tend to think about where to spend the money they haven't earned yet. Buffett advises evaluating future purchases not in terms of money, but in terms of the number of hours you spend earning that money. Ask yourself how many hours a month you work and how much money you earn for it. Calculate how much an hour of your work is worth and compare the calculation with the price of what you want to buy. If you earn $4,000 and want to buy a new Tesla for at least $40,000, consider whether it's worth it. Perhaps before you start saving, you should look for additional sources of income. It's also important to note that Buffett encourages people to plan all income and expenses, regardless of how much they earn. The key to a healthy financial future is careful and conscious money management. $1 million is a significant amount of money, and it is crucial to control it properly to prevent it from disappearing without a trace, as Warren Buffett states. He points out that habit number 2 is to make money work for you. To get some extra income, you need to understand the investment mechanism. If you just put your savings away, they will diminish over time due to inflation, which reduces their real purchasing power. To avoid this, the money should at least be placed in a savings account with interest higher than inflation. However, this is not a tool for making money. To really make money, you need to invest. But to do so, it's essential to consider different investment options and learn not to lose your savings. You don't have to invest in shares straight away. Start by understanding the investment mechanism itself, as Buffett suggests. Take the time to learn the basics of investing on a regular basis. You can start by watching the news on the subject every day. Instead of spending the morning browsing Facebook or Instagram, dedicate 10 to 20 minutes to useful reading, analyzing what happens to stocks on a daily basis. By the way, The returns on the shares of American giants like Facebook and Google are as high as 30% a year. Isn't it amazing that social media can not only consume your time, but also bring in a lot of money for future millionaires? Before I continue, I ask you to support this video and give it a like, as your activity can help more people learn about these useful financial habits. Habit number 3, work in unusual conditions. This advice from Buffett may seem a little strange, although the billionaire himself is an avid fan of assessing global market situations while sitting in McDonald's rather than in his office chair. He always associates money with big problems that need to be solved. To do this, you need to be able to see things from a different angle, as Buffett says. A good confirmation of his words is the story of Albert Einstein. In 1905, Einstein published 4 scientific papers that changed the foundations of modern physics and our understanding of space, time, and matter. Interestingly, he wrote these papers not in a physics laboratory or in his office, but in the Swiss Patent Office. Working in such a different environment allowed him to break away from traditional laboratory methods. When your working conditions are different from those of most people in your field, you can draw unexpected conclusions and combine ideas from different areas. If you read what everyone else reads, you'll think like everyone else. And if you think like everyone else, you won't be able to invent anything new or unique. Be curious, look for obscure sources, and study what no one else has studied. That way, your work will be truly valuable to others. Warren Buffett is known for his simple but profound financial wisdom. He believes that people often spend their money on absolutely stupid and unnecessary things, thus blocking their path to wealth. By eliminating the most common financial mistakes, you can change everything drastically and finally become rich. The first mistake all poor people make is neglecting personal development. Buffett believes that the best investment you can make today is to invest in yourself by upgrading and getting a quality education. These are the things that can significantly increase your income. Many people don't have time for training and prefer to find someone who already knows what to do and is willing to pay well for it. If you want to be self-employed, competence in business and its processes will never be superfluous. When you create your own business, your knowledge and skills are assets that no one can ever take away from you. Using credit cards indiscriminately is the second common mistake among people facing financial difficulties. Credit cards can be convenient and useful, especially when you want to buy something and you don't have enough funds available. However, the high interest rates on credit cards cancel out any benefits. If you forget to pay your debts on time, the charges add up quickly. Sit down and calculate how much you actually spend in a year to pay off all your credit card debts. I'm sure you'll be surprised. Warren Buffett recommends cutting out this part of your spending. Firstly, you'll stop spending more than you earn. And secondly, you'll save a significant amount of money that can be invested in your education, for example. Another common expense among people with financial difficulties is the constant search for the latest technology. New gadgets are launched regularly, often as a result of highly effective marketing strategies. The desire to own the latest product is strong, but if you are determined to follow the path to enrichment, it is essential to assess your real needs. Often, your current gadget still works perfectly well and doesn't need to be replaced. Warren Buffett, for example, prefers functional technology and only buys new products when he sees a significant difference from what he already has. Visiting bars, restaurants, and pubs is a common activity, especially among those with financial difficulties. Spending on food and drink away from home is one of the most problematic areas for those who want to save money. If you've decided to get rich, you should avoid this kind of luxury, especially during the phase when you're building your financial freedom. Although socializing and having fun are important parts of life, these activities can be done inexpensively. Invite friends to get together at home instead of going out, preserving your emotional well-being and saving financially. When it comes to clothes, have you ever noticed how the richest people in the world dress? Most of them prefer simplicity in their closets, including Warren Buffett. This is especially true for those who wish to escape poverty. Forget flashy, expensive brands. You often pay a lot just to have a famous name on your t-shirt. The stores are full of good quality alternatives that don't carry famous brand labels. Unused gym memberships are another common expense among people with financial difficulties. Statistically, 80% of people who buy an annual gym membership end up quitting. Cheap offers from fitness chains are attractive, promising long-term savings. However, if you stop going to the gym, you will end up losing money. Buffett encourages an active lifestyle, but warns against this kind of spending. If you're one of those people who bought an annual membership and then stopped going, try exercising for free at home or outdoors, or consider a monthly membership that only requires commitment for 1 month. In addition, subscription services are a common financial mistake. Check what you subscribe to regularly. Many services offer a free trial period, but require credit card information so that when the period ends, you are automatically charged. Often, you only remember the subscription after the transaction has taken place. You promise to cancel the automatic renewal, but you forget, and so you're charged again. This eats up money that could go to good causes. Control your subscriptions by setting reminders to disable renewal at the end of the trial period, doing so a day or two in advance. Because some services like to write off money in advance, buying new cars, according to Warren Buffett, is a serious expense to avoid. Cars are notorious for wearing out quickly. The billionaire recommends looking for used brands and keeping them for as long as possible. And don't forget that any car needs constant inspection and repairs. If you are planning to make such a serious purchase, think about how you will maintain your car in the future and carefully consider whether you really need it, considering your current financial situation. It's not uncommon for people to buy luxury items because they want to feel comfortable and impress other people. But in reality, their financial situation doesn't allow for such an expense. The following financial mistakes are fundamental to many people's poverty. Pay close attention to them, but before you do, don't forget to give this video a like. If you want to achieve impressive financial success, let this like be the first but important step on the road to wealth. Another financial mistake is gambling. Although it may seem like a shortcut to increasing wealth, Warren Buffett stresses the importance of understanding the odds of success in gambling. The billionaire encourages people to make financial decisions that will benefit their lives in the long term, rather than focusing on short-term wealth options. Many people have burned themselves doing just that, spending large sums of money in the hope of getting lucky. It's a cycle that can repeat itself indefinitely, and it's hard to stop once you get caught up in the thrill of the game. Know that a long-term perspective with well-thought-out steps is much more important than making money quickly. And we mustn't forget to mention smoking. Yes, that's exactly what takes a lot of money out of your pocket and also negatively affects your health. I'm sure you've seen articles about how much you can save by quitting smoking, not to mention that a simple calculation can show savings of thousands of dollars, which can lead to a significant increase in your personal wealth. Warren Buffett is known as one of the greatest investors of all time, which means he knows what it takes to multiply your capital. As well as offering practical financial advice, the billionaire emphasizes important human qualities that must be developed if you want to become truly wealthy. Firstly, Buffett suggests developing healthy financial habits. Speaking to students, Buffett once said that much of our behavior is determined by habit. No wonder it's said that the chains of habit are too light to notice at first and too heavy to break when you finally do. We'd all like to break some bad habits, but the most important thing is to get into the habit of saving money properly. Don't save what's left over after spending. Spend what's left over after saving, says Warren Buffett. To make this easier, set up an automatic deduction of a small amount from each of your paychecks and use programs that show the percentage of your money on different categories of products. Never lose money is a golden rule for Buffett. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. It seems like an obvious recommendation after all. Nobody thinks that losing money is a good idea. However, it is very wise and practical advice for avoiding risk as much as possible. To be successful and live happily, never risk what you need for what you want. Buffett followed this rule and never made risky investments. He said that the difference between successful people and the truly successful is that the truly successful say no to almost everything. Don't keep all your money in one account, keep some cash. This is another unexpected suggestion, considering that Buffett's fortune is estimated at $15 billion by 2023. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, always has around $20 billion in cash ready to be used at any time. This seems unreasonable and goes against the general financial principle of investing money rather than keeping it under the pillow. However, this strategy saved Buffett's company during the 2008 crisis. Buffett says that money for a company is like oxygen for the body. You never think about it when you have it, and you only think about it when you don't have it. Dollars are somehow more reliable than checks, especially for those with inconsistent income. Following this rule is crucial. Borrowing wisely is also fundamental. Buffett warns against taking on unnecessary debt. Installment loans, mortgages, and credit can be convenient, but if they're not managed carefully, they can lead to a point where your loan payments exceed your expenses and there's no going back. I've seen many people fail because of alcohol, but I've also seen many go bankrupt because of an excessive desire for credit. If you're smart, you can make money without having to resort to credit. Pay attention to small expenses. Buffett always emphasizes the importance of watching even the smallest expenses and trusts only frugal people. For example, he bought a company whose owner counted rolls of toilet paper to avoid being cheated. An interesting case that reflects the billionaire's attention to small expenses occurred in China. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates decided to go to the local McDonald's for a snack, and Buffett insisted on paying the bill himself. To everyone's surprise, he used discount coupons he brought back from America to save money. Think in terms of a decade, not a month. Most people make the mistake of trying to make the most of the present moment. Don't chase quick wins. Focus on building your strength and confidence gradually throughout your life. Warren Buffett advises that successful investing requires time, discipline, and patience. No matter how talented you are or how hard you work, some things take time. You can't have a baby in a month by impregnating 9 women, said Buffett. Think in terms of decades, gradually accumulating what you need for your children's education or your retirement. Read everything you can about finance. Go to bed at night smarter than when you woke up in the morning. Buffett has said that a big part of his job as an investor is to minimize risk and cut costs. And what is risk for the average person, not a financier? It's when you don't know what you're doing. The more you learn about money and the laws of money, the more financially literate you will become. This will allow you to manage your money better and know how to make the most of it, regardless of how much you have. Money isn't everything. Some material things have made my life happier, but if you have too many of them, it will do the opposite, said Warren Buffett. He said he wouldn't give up an airplane, but half a dozen houses is a problem. In his opinion, it often happens that a large number of assets start to own themselves. So don't forget other equally important values, such as health. Without it, success is impossible. According to Buffett, the same goes for friends. The billionaire considers his friends to be the most important thing after his health. Be brave. In 1951, when Warren Buffett was not even 21 years old, he took a train to Washington, D.C. and knocked on the door of the GEICO Insurance Company headquarters, where Benjamin Graham, his future mentor, worked. Buffett's boldness in showing up at Graham's office led Graham to give the young man a 4-hour lecture on the insurance industry. Graham would become CEO of GEICO, and Buffett would remain associated with the company for years to come. Today, Berkshire Hathaway owns GEICO, and Berkshire's insurance holdings are what Buffett calls one of the company's crown jewels. If Buffett hadn't had the audacity to show up at GEICO that day 72 years ago, none of this would have happened. Boldness pays off in making difficult decisions. Initially, Berkshire Hathaway's main market was textile mills. Buffett supported them for many years, but in 1985, he sold the mills because the business was no longer profitable. It was a difficult decision for Warren, but important for his future success. These situations are common in life. For example, it's more profitable to give up an expensive vacation and invest in a retirement fund. The road to financial success is paved before you go to sleep. Virtually all poor people don't do this. It's about planning every night, before you go to bed. Writing a list of the most important things that need to be done in the morning to get closer to your desired goals. Every night, review what you've done during the day, write down tasks, and go to bed. In the morning, you will have a roadmap, a plan, ready to go. What are you waiting for to achieve indestructible success? Sign up and get